Hello, Michael Swain here after Kansas football's 39-32 loss on the road to Oklahoma State. And I think the emotions you saw in the post-game press conference from KU players, and even for us leaving the press conference room, you walk by people around the program, and I think devastated might be the right word. I don't want to overstate it, but this is a team in a game that I think felt like they should have been on the other side. I'm sure we'll get into a lot of why that didn't happen, but I think starting there is probably important. You can see how much this meant to the team to get close to getting bowl eligibility before the bye week, to have all that momentum over the next 2 weeks heading into that Oklahoma game, and just to win a tough game in a tough place that Kansas hasn't won in over 15 years. A lot of opportunities, and KU fell short, and clearly the players are devastated, and even the coaches too. You could see it on Lance Leipold's face, and you could see it on the face of people around the program. So starting of how we got to this point, KU looked like it did in the first part of the 2022 season on defense. KU starting off giving up 2 quick scores to go down 14-0. That was reminiscent of what we saw from the KU defense last year, and at times I think you saw a bit of the defense from last year, right? Giving up big runs and big plays, but then maybe being able to hold on. And then you saw bits and pieces of the defense I think you've seen this season, where the defense gets stops in big moments and is able to stymie the opponent. KU goes and allows 3 straight scores, then I think it was 4 of the next 5 drives are punts. And that was good. And KU, as a result, got back in the game. And then you look on the other side, right? The offense gets off to a bit of a slower start, and then they kind of get into the game. And throughout the course of the contest, really through 3 quarters, Jason Bean was incredible. He was incredible. His best performance, maybe as a college quarterback, definitely since he's been at Kansas. And he made some really good throws, really great plays that I don't think he would have made in his first year here, and maybe not even last year. And he deserves credit for that, because his passing allowed KU's offense to score, because they were not running the ball. Oklahoma State was great against the run in this game and really slowed down everything Kansas wanted to do. And then you get into crunch time, where the first interception happens on the far sideline, at least for us up in the press box, and Bean tries to float a ball into the end zone to get a score. And it's kind of the touch throws that he has struggled to make during his time at KU, and I think if you're going to make one criticism of him, it's at times I think the touch and the feel isn't always there. And that was one of the moments where it showed. And I think you can acknowledge 2 things at once here too, where Jason Bean has improved, right? He is a better football player than he was last year. He's a better football player than he was when he first got to Kansas. And on the same token, you could still say he's limited. Nuance is okay, and I think that's probably fair. So the first interception happens, and after that, he was not the same. Lance Leipold said he wasn't really around him too much, and he said it would make sense if a player makes a play like that and doesn't have the same confidence. And I think you can see that, where that second interception comes and he tries throwing the ball into a really tight window that I don't think was there, trying to make a play on 3rd and long. It's tipped, intercepted. And then we got to get to the officials. I hate talking about officials, but even Lance Leipold. For those that are Kansas fans watching this video, you know that Lance Leipold is not the type of person that's going to come out and rip officials consistently. But he said it was baffling, the late hit call against Devin Neal on a large run for Trevor Darnell. That was incredible. I didn't see anything. He called that was baffling. Then right behind me, there was an Oklahoma State guy that looked like he was offsides on that 4th and 5, and he's the one that makes the big play. He was offsides. We could see it up in the press box. We had a pretty good angle on it. And it's a call that goes against KU, fine. And from there, it's hard to come back. KU's defense tried, they gave up the touchdown, and from there then the offense comes out and has a play short of the sticks on 4th down. That's tough. So I think overall you look at this performance, and we've not even talked about point after touchdowns yet, right? KU's PAT unit was awful. Cost them multiple points. And what could have been a 4-point game, there are 4 points left up on the board on points after touchdowns. It's the collective, I think, performance here where KU played well through spurts, right? KU was good enough to win this game, but you can't have this type of collective performance and expect to win a place you haven't won in 15 years, right? I think there are positives from it, right? KU has been blown out here for years and years and years and years. And to come in here and play this type of game is encouraging. But I think Lance Leipold, I think the coaches and players, and I think you fans would all say, well, we're not doing this. Oh, it was close. Like, that's not what everybody's in it for now, right? It's like the old saying, you play to win the game. Okay, you didn't. It's all right. There are plenty more games to go this season, but I think it's just a tough loss, and you could really see that. I encourage you to go watch the video up on the YouTube and see kind of just the faces of the players and Lance Leipold, because it's a tough loss, and now they've got a bye week, and they've got 2 weeks to sit on it. I think you'll see a very motivated Kansas team against Oklahoma in 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens, right? Plenty of weeks to go, but you just look at these games, and KU's got to play better as a collective. I think they will. KU's going to be bowl eligible. They'll win another game this year. It's a question of how many more games can they win, and they're going to need to play better as a collective for that to happen. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to the channel. Plenty more coverage to come up on frog.net tonight, tomorrow, into the bye week, and going forward.